Hello everybody, my name is Zilla, and on today's random review, we're going to be taking a look at the Medicom Mafex Homelander. Homelander here is from the adult superhero comic titled The Boys, created by Garth Ennis and Derek Robertson. The book became infamous for its violent and grotesque imagery and themes. However, this version of Homelander seen here is from the Amazon Prime Video adaptation of the infamous comic series, which is drastically different from the original comic for better and for worse.
Yeah. Yummers.
The painting and the sculpt work on this figure is excellent. The likeness to Anthony Starr here is just absolutely insane, and I've heard people complain that this looks nothing like him, but honestly, I just have to disagree. This was probably the best they could have done, and honestly, it is the best looking out of the 112 Homelander figures we do have, and no, the NECA figure does not count because that's not 112. And even if the head sculpt wasn't perfect, sculpt work on the actual bodysuit, and especially on that back, those very teeny tiny painted stars there, look just fantastic. And the gold paint they chose to use here pops really well, and I haven't had any issues with paint chipping at all, which is a rarity for any import figures, trust me.
The only real issues I have with the sculpt work here is the abdomen area.
I mean, come on, I know he's a dad, but he doesn't have a dad bod. Have you seen Anthony Starr? And overall, the paintwork and the sculpt work on this figure is very, very good, even with the minor issues I do take with it. And before we move on to the accessories, I would like to bring light to a problem I had with Homelander's shoulder piece here, as when I went to go rotate the arm, his shoulder piece flew off and now is no longer able to be reattached because this hinge joint here is far too loose. And speaking of things being far too loose, this chest piece can go to die. And in case you're wondering why he has a removable chest, well, let's take a look at our first accessory here being his alternate chest piece. Just simply rip his chest out, trust me, it's not that hard, and replace it with the alternate chest piece, just like so. Make sure you line them up properly. And there you have it. As for faces and head sculpts, you get this neutral smile, a slightly angry face, and a yelling face with some laser eyes. However, you don't get any laser effect pieces, so this renders this kind of useless in my opinion. You also get a pair of fists, a pair of thumbs up hands, a pair of relaxed hands, an alternate pair of relaxed hands, open hands, and a pair of pointing hands.
Also, word to the wise when dealing with the hand pegs, as they are incredibly small and brittle. Please be careful when you're changing the hands, as Mafex joints aren't exactly the strongest out there.
Putting together the stand is very simple, although it does include some alternate pieces. But before I show you that, I should also mention the only accessory I am missing that I know of is the non-posable stand, but hey, not much of a loss. It didn't really work that well in the first place. So without further ado, I guess let's take a look at the other alternate stand parts. You get a single claw which attaches like so, and you get another piece where you can attach the claw the other way. You also get an alternate claw accessory just in general, and that's it. And here's my genuine product certification.
I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
So you're all probably wondering, how does this guy pose? Homelander has a ball joint at the head and neck, allowing him to look up that far, down that far, and side to side. His arm is on a ball joint, and the shoulder pauldron is on a double hinge joint. Be very, very careful to not accidentally rip it off. His arm can go up that far, but please be careful, and it can rotate 360 degrees. Please be careful. Bicep can swivel. His elbows are on hinge joints, and you can very, very carefully rotate the peg to go side to side or up and down at the wrist. His chest and abdomen are on ball joints, allowing him to crunch forward that far, which is pretty terrible if I'm being honest, and arc back that far. And as the wise Javier once said, every ball joint can swivel. And before we move on to the leg articulation, I would like to point out how the cape is wired, so you can pose it essentially however you want. His hips are on ball joints, allowing him to kick up that far, and a little bit tight, but back that far. His legs can extend, allowing him to kick up a bit farther and back a bit farther. No real thigh swivel, but of course you can fake one with the ball joint there. No calf swivel, which is disappointing, but his feet can go up this far, down that far, pivot, and he's got a toe joint. Last but certainly not least, he can do the splits. So, articulation-wise, this guy isn't the greatest. I feel like the neck joint being so limited, and along with that ab joint, it just doesn't allow me to get all the poses that I could really want with this guy. So I'm gonna have to dock quite a few points for that. So with the articulation out of the way, it's now time to move on to the size comparison. Here we have Figma Madoka Kaname, my previous review, the SH Figuart Jujutsu Technical High Gojo, and the SH Figuarts Jujutsu Technical High Gato, Transformers Legacy G1 Universe Optimus Prime, NECA King of the Monsters Burning Godzilla, and of course, the 4-inch Jakks Pacific Knuckles.
So, overall, figure's just okay. I mean, you get what you pay for, and honestly, I pay too much. If you want my personal recommendation, I wouldn't pay anything more than like $60 for this thing, as it doesn't come with enough accessories to warrant the price, and the articulation is nothing amazing. Oh, if you were expecting a trailer this time, sorry to disappoint, but I got nothing.